Welcome everyone. I'm Jesse Danzig, joined by my colleague Deepanita Das to introduce you to Lesson 2 of the Digital Advocacy Center's Fundamentals of Digital Advocacy Center Training. We're excited to talk to you about the highlights and main themes from Lesson 2, which is all about social media content planning and strategy, as well as social media platforms. This is our most popular set of modules that really looks at, most importantly, first, how to manage the content you're going to be putting on your social channels, how to build and manage a healthy and sustainable community online, and then really deep diving into Facebook and Twitter, both the main concepts of how each channel relates to your advocacy strategy, and then the best practices for day-to-day management.
The combined goals of these modules are as follows. First, we will be exploring drumbeat versus breakthrough moments as it applies to your content. Next, we will be discussing the use of a content calendar, which you will find out is one of the most important parts of your campaign. Number 3, we will explore how to quickly find content on the Digital Advocacy Center, which is a great resource. And last, we will talk about how to use Facebook and Twitter and grow your following on those platforms. In the matter of drumbeat versus breakthrough content, there are a few points to remember. Drumbeat content, as the name suggests, it's content that is posted every day. For example, health harms of tobacco use, while breakthrough content is a post that is related to a specific activity that you are planning online or offline. Example, a Twitter chat online or a press conference offline. Drumbeat content, again, relates to the campaign overall. For example, why is a smoke-free city required? While breakthrough content is posts related to a planned activity. Example, announcing the launch of a petition online. And last, drumbeat content is posted with the intention of general engagement with the campaign. Example, sharing a poll about the harms of tobacco use. While the intention of breakthrough content is to get the reader to take an action. That is, sign a petition or send a picture or report a violation, etc.
And beyond kind of the types of drumbeat versus breakthrough content, we also have what we call the rule of thirds, a content strategy that's super important to make sure you're following what are generally understood as social media best practices. And we divide this between content related to your organization, content related to your friends, and shared interests, meaning that you have content that is about the topics and issues your organization is working on as a primary driver of communications on your platform. But you're also talking about your friends, that social media is interactive. You're engaging people, asking what they think. You're responding to their questions, etc. And then last, our shared interests, that you're participating in the relevant conversations of the day. If there's global tobacco control news or public health news from other organizations, that you are showing you're an active member of a broad an active participant in a broad community, and not just pumping out information all about what you're doing. And the content calendar, one of the most important tools of any social media strategist, is really the lifeblood of your campaign. All content essentially is going to be generated and produced ahead of time for your campaign work. And we have a great set of tools to help you make that as easy and smooth as possible, so that you have a steady stream of engagements and messages and content ready to engage with your audience.
Let's now talk about why you should be on Facebook and on Twitter. So why Facebook? First and foremost, it is an opportunity to both raise awareness about your issue as well as garner public action around your campaign. Number 2, it gets people advocating on your behalf. So the action of sharing your content or posting about your content is advocating on your behalf. And last, it gives you the ability to get your message to go viral. The larger the number of shares and likes and views, the more virality your content has. Similarly, why should you be on Twitter? Now, Twitter has 100 million daily active users, which is a very compelling reason to be on it. Number two, it is often the second most used network worldwide. And number three, it is a source of breaking news, so which means that people don't no longer rely on a newspaper or even a website for news. They go to Twitter to find out what's just happened. Number four, and this is incredibly important for a digital campaigner, your grass stops, decision makers, targets are all available on Twitter, which means you have a direct line through to them. Next, there are live engagement opportunities on Twitter. You can get feedback and engagement real time from both decision makers as well as the general public. And last, Twitter, unlike Facebook, does not throttle reach, which means as long as your content is well crafted, relevant, and correctly hashtagged, it will reach the largest number of people it can reach.
Great, and as Dee mentioned, one of the great things about Twitter is applying the channel to your power map, meaning that a lot of the people you have identified as being stakeholders in your policy process are likely active on Twitter. And so thinking through how best to map decision makers and key opinion leaders, as well as traditional media, leveraging that tool that you developed in lesson 1 in the strategic planning power map module is a great way to kind of connect your core strategy to your social media strategy. Thank you so much. We hope that this lesson really helps jumpstart your social media campaign and go from the planning process to actually starting to craft content, understand which channels you're on and why, and get campaigns up and running.